Compassion is one of the best qualities a person can have, but not everyone is capable of this feeling. Compassion defines the essence of humanity. If people knew how to compassionate, then there would no big wars in the world. Lack of empathy and compassion for someone else's grief dehumanizes people. A modern man in the morning over a cup of coffee calmly looks scenes of violence, cruelty, and murders from hot spots, and this does not cause him any emotions, except for the feeling of joy from the remoteness of those places. The evil of the modern world is indifference. Yes, you cannot stop a war in a distant land. Yes, you cannot wipe away the tears of a child who lost their parents in the war, which goes thousands of kilometers from your house. But don't kill your heart with indifference. Your empathy and compassion will help you rethink many things in your life. Compassion or indifference change a person. Your living heart can lead you one day to the truth. This is how God tests us. He looks at our hearts. Humanism is not self-admiration and exaltation of one's I in an infinite universe. Humanism is a manifestation of philanthropy, compassion, nobility, generosity here and now. Compassionate people save the lives of millions of people every year. They are blissful. God looked at this time into their compassionate souls and hearts. They saved in fact their souls and will be rewarded for their kind hearts. And the Holy Book, God says of Himself that He is compassionate. But why don't most people know about it? Because their hearts are closed. You will receive God as you imagine Him. Why do people show cruelty? Why do wars, injustice, enmity, deception, hypocrisy occur? Because in this world people are free in their thoughts, feelings, intentions, deeds, actions until the day of judgment. This life is a competition in good deeds in the spiritual higher world, where a person came from and where he will return. Everything that a person does in his life, angels record in his book. On the day of judgment, the first thing that happens to a person is that everyone will be presented with his book. This will be the first surprise for a person, since in his book he will see everything written down, his deeds, actions, thoughts, feelings, and in the interpretation that God will give. This will be the day of truth and justice. You have come to this world for a certain time. Hurry to do good as far as possible. If someone is violent and hateful, then he does great damage to his soul and loses his life. The devil, who is always with him, pushes a person to everything bad. When God created man, the devil scoffed and haughtily mocked God's creation. He fights tirelessly for the soul of a human and wants to prove to God that human is not worthy to be God's viceroy on earth. He wants to show God that most people will be ungrateful to Him. Don't give in to the instigation of the devil who wants to humiliate you. Don't show hostility or hatred towards each other. But in this world, there is as much hatred as there is so much indifference. The person is more and more disconnected and zombified, but an awakening closer to the day of judgment will be inevitable. This will be a different era, for which many are preparing, but not everyone is ready for this. Unfortunately, the wars on earth will not end until the last day of human history. The strong destroy, the weak mercilessly. On the day of judgment, whoever was honorable in this world may be humiliated, and whoever has been humiliated and unjustly wronged can be exalted. Turn your heart to God. Your Lord is compassionate and merciful. People did everything bad in this world with their own hands, even if it happened at the instigation of the devil. Turn to God with prayer. He hears you always and everywhere. Never despair at the mercy of God. God's mercy has no boundaries.